Yes.
Yes.
So on today's cooking show, you will see a nice like that. And that's your oregano. Gotcha, gotcha. Uh, and today I'm not alone. I have Dimitri with me. Or I understand the
You
name
get me
is
that.
Dimitri. And I'll tell you something. He didn't know about Halo on Xbox, and I introduced it to him. And that you played Halo, right?
Yes, a long time ago.
Long ago.
Long ago. Many moons ago.
Well, it's one of them primers, kind of gets you in the military in a way, or interested.
What is this?
What?
What's your list? What is your list anniversary?
Oh no, the game is the anniversary because it's 10 years old. When that was made, it's really 20 years old.
Mm.
And that, but
2004?
yeah, no, 2002. 2002 or 2002.
It was my year burn.
Well, yeah, it was
2000.
Yeah, well, yeah, 2000, 2001, around there.
Yeah.
Because it was Christmas that I got it, 2001 or 2002. But
Yeah.
I bought all the games and that 1, 3, and 4, but not 2. I couldn't find 2 here and that. And basically been playing them. Then I introduced him to the game, which he likes it a little bit, maybe, or like just we do the co-op thing and we go through the levels and that. But I don't know. The power has been normal for 2 to 3 days so far. So the blackouts are over for the time being and that. So normal power, unless it goes out all of a sudden like that. But clap on, clap off the commercial. And that he knows what I'm talking about. I should show him because he'll probably be more quiet. Or no, you know what? You should show it from your screen. Do a search on YouTube. You know the clap on, clap off commercial.
Clap on, clap off.
Yeah. Just to give them an idea. Just an American brand commercial to shut up, turn on your lights and turn them off. Blah, blah, blah. He knows this. He grew up with it just the same as I did. It was like every commercial late at night to turn on and turn off your lights. So here, 1 second, he'll show you. And that and just do a YouTube search for clap on, clap off. It was a commercial so you did not have to get up and turn off the light. Yeah, see, clap on, clap off. You just have to write clap. And they should have, some commercial, yeah. So go to the first one.
This one right here.
Yeah, sure. It's probably seen we've
Honey, turn off the light.
Has this ever happened to you? Presenting the Clapper. Lets your appliances turn on and off just by clapping. Clap on the music. It's easy. Just plug the Clapper into any household outlet, then plug in your lamp, TV, or stereo.
Clap on, clap off.
For places hard to reach, the Clapper makes it easy. Plus, the Clapper comes with an extra feature to make your home more secure. Turn to the Away function, and your lights turn on at the first sound it hears. Minutes later, they turn off. And the Clapper resets to help protect your home. Leave your appliances plugged into the Clapper, and your lights will go on, turning away unwanted guests.
Clap on, clap off. The Clapper.
It's commercials like this. He grew up with it. I grew up with it. They always do the same commercials. I'm just trying to think what else, but you know, there was also the one, I don't know if I can find it, but the one with the handset with the head. I saw it originally on Instagram, but I don't know if it is on YouTube. But there was always these, you know, culture things. Oh, you know, too, I was explaining to him because he likes GTA, the Grand Theft Auto games.
Oh yeah, those are pretty cool. I
64.
played those a while back.
Yeah,
Hey, those games are cool too.
but I was explaining the Crips and the Bloods thing to him, and he said, "Oh my, it really looks like GTA." And that, since we're not so much on the topic of Ukraine, but either or, there's not much going on at the moment. And that there was some missile strike earlier in the morning in Kyiv, I think, but it hit some cars. That's all I know. Let's see. Hands free phone.
Yeah, I read somewhere that Putin is willing to talk to Trump to
Yeah.
maybe figure out a ceasefire, which I found that to be interesting. No, he'll work with Trump, but he won't work with the others. It makes.
I think you know what I think really, and that it's I think it's what they say in reality is something different behind the scenes. So yeah, okay, so I found this little commercial thing. I'll send it to you on Telegram. 1 second. Oh, you know too, I have a friend, Mark. I grew up with Mark, went to school with him junior high. You know, he thinks like me, he thinks like you, and he isn't for all the funding of all the foreign countries thing. And he's like, you know, it's gonna get really bad in Ukraine. I go, no, it's gonna stay the same. And I said, Mark, you don't understand what happened in the country before 2014. And I have an idea, and he knows, he grew up with it.
Right.
And
This war.
well, basically, I have a friend, and he said, like, Ricky, it's gonna get really bad there. We're gonna pull back all the money from all these countries, and you don't know what will happen in Ukraine and this and that. Like, basically, he thinks that Ukraine will disappear in that, in an essence. But he was saying that, and I said, and I told him, I said, Mark, you don't understand. I came in the country almost 7 years ago, April of 2025. It will
Wow.
be 7 years in that. But what happens is I came into the country $1 to 25 hryvnia. Well, $1.2325. Now it's $1 to 42 in that. And the war jumped it up, and so did coronavirus. And you know, he grew up with it in some way, but he doesn't remember. But I have friends that are older than me, that are Ukrainian. They remember when it was $1 to 8, $1 to 5 hryvnias, $1 to 10, $1 to 12. They remember it in that. So like Ukraine will always be Ukraine in some way in that.
The difference in American people.
Yeah, but how do I want to say it? What what Jared sees in the news is not the reality in Ukraine. What you see in Instagram and Telegram, he barely sees. That's the best way to put it.
Yep.
In CNN and all these news agencies in America, they don't show anything. They don't show anything from the Ukrainian side. They just show a blown up building and go, oh, another blown up building. oh, Ukraine's destroyed, or like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
we've
go
yeah,
ahead.
we've been talking almost 2 years now, haven't we, Ricky? Been almost 2 years.
About a year or so, yeah.
Yeah, because when you reached out, because I was looking for somebody.
Oh yeah, 2 years because I was going back into Ukraine. It was 2023. So yeah, almost 2 years.
Because
Yeah.
I remember saying on a channel, I said, if anybody knows anything, reach out. Because what you just said, we don't get the truth very often here. And you have to filter through a lot of
Do you
stuff.
understand it? Oh.
Yeah.
Do you hear him or you just don't understand them?
I don't hear.
Okay, sure. 1 second. I'll turn it up. Go ahead, repeat what you say. Just so
Oh yeah, of course. No, I was saying that it's been almost 2 years, I think, for you and I, Ricky. And I remember saying on my channel, this was a while back, that if anybody knew anything about Ukraine, to reach out, because I wanted to know more. Because I know that we get a lot of propaganda here. And, I'll kind of do like a really quick story. So when it all kicked off in 2022, right? The news that we got here was that there was never going to be a war. They kept telling us that Russia was never going to go into Ukraine. That's what our news was saying here, right? That Russia was never going to go into Ukraine, but yet Russia was building, basically on the border of Ukraine, these hospitals that you would normally put up if you're going to go to do an invasion, right? All the signs were there, but they kept telling us, no, there wasn't going to be a war. And then Russia went into Ukraine, and then they showed us videos of old women throwing cocktail bombs at Russian tanks. That was kind of what we were getting, that, the Ukrainians were putting up a fight and they were pushing the Russians out, and it was,
Yeah.
But, come to find out, there's probably truth in all of it somewhere, but you're only getting filtered certain information. You're not getting the entire truth is why I started to reach out, because I'm a person who seeks truth. And the more I've learned a lot from Ricky anyway already, and through my own research, that, Ukraine is very important right now on the global stage. I really feel like Ukraine
of course.
is very important.
By the way, you understand him good or me better?
You better.
Okay. So here's your difference. Okay. He knows this because he knows the accents like me, because same country. I have a very middle of the country accent, but he knows.
Average.
Well, yeah, like me living in the middle of the country, and I have that accent.
Okay.
But on top of it, because of my grandma being Southern, I talk slower, and which he will pick up on it every once in a while. I'll say, like, he will say a while, and I'll say a while, and that it sounds the same, but I say it slower. And that
Easy way to
but
understand.
but the thing though is you grew up in Texas or you grew up in Oregon?
Texas.
Okay, but he understands it in some sense because Texas is Southern, but he lives out in the West Coast now. And that, like, what's a word that they say different in Texas other than somewhere else? You know what I mean, like with one of the Southern drawl words.
Yeah. Oh, I had to think from there. Because y'all don't talk with the Southern drawl at all. So, yeah.
Well, but you do a little bit. You say thank.
Say again.
You say thank.
Tank. Think.
Okay. I say think. You say. Repeat.
Yeah. Think.
No. Think.
Like think. You gotta think. My hearing on the other end too.
Well, but you hear the difference, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I say think, and then he says it think. Right. There's a little, like,
okay, I get what you're saying. Think.
it's a little bit accent, a little,
Okay.
because I'm saying it.
American states have own accent.
Some do, yeah.
Okay.
Arkansas, or there's
Where are you from? Your state?
Texas originally.
Texas.
Originally Texas. I live in Oregon now. So
Yeah, he's with the fun liberals. He parties with the liberals every day. And that, but regardless is like, you know, I pronounce more of an I with a ing, and he would say dang. And that, so
Thanks. Kind of W, you know?
yes, but I understand what he means. And that it's just in the South, there's some people that will mix their vowels, A, I, O, U. They will mix these letters in that, and my grandma does it too. My grandma does it too. And but I understand it, and but it's just the accent in that. And I mean, there's other people in Texas, and you know, they pronounce Texas in Ukraine the Spanish way, Tejas. Wait, when I say Texas, they don't understand it so much. And that it's just one of them things. And that. But just like that in terms of culture. And that, but I forgot how old he is, but I met him through a church thing here in Kalush. And that's
Cool.
because he goes to a church thing that's like an evangelical church thing. And
Cool.
I met him through there. There's like you know, it's funny in the church thing, there's like only like 4 guys that speak English. Maybe the girls understand English, but they won't talk to me. They don't
Right.
respond. But you know, I'm talking to like 4 of the Ukrainian guys that are younger than me, and they like to talk with me in English. And then there's like an older woman that goes, Ukrainsky, like speak Ukrainian, you're in Ukraine, speak Ukrainian. And that, and I'm like, oh, просто Ukrainsky. And that, or resume. And just like that in general. But
Isn't that funny? The similarities in countries, even with different culture. Because we in America, we have people the same way. Like they get on to people here, oh, speak English. You're in America. You know, it's funny.
oh no. The yeah, there's another one where they'll say in how to say this. They'll say it in a very simple way. Like, do you speak American?
Mhm.
You speak American instead of speak English. And that and oh, you know, I don't think you know it. I let Nazar hear it. What's his face? There's a phone number, like he knows this too. It annoys a lot of Americans. When you call a automatic machine number, it will say press 1 for English or press 2 for Spanish. Or it will say press 2 for English and 1 for Spanish. And you basically you hear the instructions in Spanish first.
Yes.
And that. And it's just one of them things. But like, you know, and you know, this is going language, rounding this to Ukraine. You know, there was they made a language law that everything has to be primarily in Ukrainian. And that even though this got interpreted to Russian is outlawed, it's just,
Right.
it's not how to say it, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not that Russian is illegal. It's that they don't want it on like official like documents, like court documents or like government documents, and that everything just needs to be in Ukrainian. And that's basically what the law says. And the other part is in the US it's all reversed. In that everything is in English, but it's also in Spanish. And then depending where you're at, it can be in Arabic, it can be in French, it can be in whatever. And you know, in Michigan, it's also in Arabic. 1 second, I will find this 800 number, I think. 1 second, let's see. Yeah, okay, so I can call this 800 number. I'll put it on speaker so he hears it.
You called the reserve?
No, calling the US number. You'll hear it. 1 second. That's 8. Oh, okay, 8. Let's hear 8. Oh. I thought it would go into some other languages other than, because it said press 8, but regardless, it says it in English first. If you want English, press 1. And then it repeats the same thing in Spanish. And we have,
This is the cost?
what?
On
Yeah, he's recording now, yeah. But-
YouTube? This channel?
Not YouTube yet. He'll upload it to YouTube and that. But regardless, is
His channel?
Yeah.
You send me.
I sent him a link or two before, like 2 or 3 hours ago, and he was like, "Oh." Everyone has a cough here.
What is linker?
What?
What is linker?
What?
What is linker?
Link?
Link.
No, I sent you the link.
Ah,
That- Sometimes I have to repeat myself, but it's all okay. Or then I jump halfway in the Ukrainian and English and at the same time, like Tut dobre, tut dobre. Oh, nie znают.
I don't know. Is here good?
I got a question.
Sure.
Question. So I've been reading, right? And maybe you guys can help me understand. Now, I was reading an article that the United States wants Ukraine to lower its conscription age to 18.
He would be a good one to ask.
Yeah, that's
Besides me. You know, the age to go to the military because of the war, the Vina.
Right, okay, from 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to the.
But what's your
Deter-
what's your feelings about it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Go to war?
Well, I mean, if you were conscripted, yeah. Good feeling, bad feeling, feeling. He says, I don't know.
yeah.
Or,
Not necessary to be there for me.
yeah.
I didn't deserve it, Zanny.
Yeah. But they want to do it, but they probably won't do it.
Right to say sir.
Mhm.
You know, I'll tell you one thing, and this is not explained. I have a friend, Sergey, who got injured in the Kursk area, and he broke his arm for a few months or whatever.
Right.
They put him on leave, and then they reinstated him. And the way that I think, he thinks there will still be something that happens, but I don't think so. And I didn't think so because, like say 2 months before the election or a month before the election, I think on both sides, maybe a little bit Russian side, they kind of pause things. They'll advance or go one way or the other, but very slow. They're not really pursuing the war because they're waiting to see what happens in the election. And if Sergei was in the hotbed of the war because he was in the Kursk direction, in that
Right.
he was like second or third wave.
Wow.
How to put this? So like people were going ahead of him and he was in like that retainer area. Right now, after his injury, they reassigned him basically back to where he was in Odessa. And where he is in Odessa, he is just translating a bunch of English documents or in the instruction manuals. He's translating them from English into Ukrainian so other people can use the weapons. That's what he's doing. And, you know, he was doing that most of the war. But, you know, if they're not going to use him and he was conscripted and he's like 42, 41. And so my feeling is that they're not really pushing the war, and that on paper they will, but in reality it's like a frozen thing, and that they're like they'll do it if they have to, but they won't. That's my opinion.
Yeah, because I saw that the average age right now in the Ukraine war is like 41, 42, kind of like my age. I'm 43. So the average age right now, the person fighting Ukraine is in their 40s. That's interesting. Yeah. I found that very interesting in my research. The average person fighting in the Ukraine war right now is in their 40s. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a middle-aged war, man.
The conscription at 25 or 27? 25. So if you're 24, you're okay. If you're 22, you're okay. 20, you're okay. Yeah. They might give you some light training to prepare you, but they're not going to throw you to the front.
No, but I know that the U.S. is urging Ukraine to lower it to 18, and I was just,
stupid thing.
I can't believe it's funny how our government's urging another country to lower its conscription age.
Stupid. It's very stupid. It's idiot Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was just it. You know where I stand on war, so
Yeah. And he was in Iraq, by the way, and that
Iraq.
Yeah, he was in the war in Iraq, and that he can tell you more interesting stories than me. If you want to tell some interesting story,
I
didn't serve in how you call Iraq?
No, Iraq, the country Iraq, and that like Afghanistan, Iraq. He was in Iraq, and that for how you were there? What, 2 years or 3 years?
Or no, 10 months. That was 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so they rotate you every 10 months or so?
Well, some guys have done. I only was 10 months at all. My that was it. I didn't do multiple tours like some people. I only did one. Yeah, one. That was it. Yeah.
So basically the rotation is every 10 months.
Well, no. The unit I went with, we were there for only there for 10 months.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be there longer, but we were only there for 10 months. We got lucky. So, you know, my unit was very, very lucky. You know, we saw minimum stuff compared to most people. I will say that. There's guys out there who they shoot some background.
So where did they put you afterwards in that? Like, or before?
Oh, well, I'll tell a little bit of a story. So how I ended up in Iraq was I spent a few years in Korea. So it was Korea where I spent most of my time. A lot of it was partying, a lot of drinking. And so I left Korea in like 2003. And I got out of the military in 2003. I joined the Texas National Guard because I went back to Texas, where I was originally from. And so I joined the National Guard because I was going to go to school. I was going to a fire academy. I wanted to be a firefighter at this time. But as I was going through the fire academy, I just had this sense of missing the military. The fire academy just wasn't fulfilling what I was missing. So I quit the fire academy and I went back to an Army recruiter and asked to go back to active duty, right? And this was after Iraq. Okay, this is after Iraq because I went to Iraq when I came back and joined the Texas National Guard, and I was trying to go to school. It was before the fire academy, and so I quit school and I had to go to Iraq. and then we did training at Fort Hood, went to Iraq for 10 months. So we did a total of 15 months, 5 months training, 10 months in Iraq. When I was done with Iraq, I got off active duty because when you go to somewhere like Iraq, they put you basically on active duty. So I was on active duty for only the 15 months, was paid the 15 months of active service from training to my 10 months in Iraq. When I got back from there, I decided to go to the Fire Academy after Iraq, and then that didn't fulfill me. So when I decided to go back to active duty, and that's how I met my wife, and I met Heather in 2006 when I had got to Fort Lee. But I was in and out of the military. I was one of those guys. I was kind of in and out.
Yeah,
I kind of loved it. I missed it, loved it. You know, it was. I think a lot of people are that way.
Yeah, it's probably me and politics a bit, but because I just didn't know the rotation length. That's all. But basically, like the minimum is 4 years. You serve 4 years, and then if you want to renew, you go another 4 years, and then whatever else, he knows what I mean. Either he chooses some idea of the direction he wants, or someone chooses the direction for him. And that. But yeah, but just like that in general and everything else. And I really wish Sergey would get on because you know, Sergey likes to talk politics. Sergey's the Ukrainian friend, but wow, I don't think he likes doing it on camera. A lot of Ukrainians don't like talking on camera. Am I right? Yes. Yeah, see, I'm right. Like they really don't like talking on camera. In private, you can talk to them all about anything. But on camera, it's like, oh, ow. But it's just like that. But because I know my friend Sergey's opinions on things, and it's close to mine and similar, and then you know sometimes I tell him about the stuff in the US, and he told me quite a few times, at least 4 times already in the past 6 months. He said, you know, Ricky, what you tell me sounds like exactly what was already in the Soviet Union and what he grew up with. And that he said, none of it sounds good for the US. Because, you know, like, you know, the outcry for Medicare, like for, you know, like for the pensioners that will get some money from the government, their pension and that. And in Ukraine, they do not need to pay for their medicine, right? Right. Okay. So, you know, Sergey mentioned this, that you know, like senior citizens and pensioners should not need to pay for their Medicare or their prescription pills from the pharmacy. In the US, you have to pay, but Medicare picks up like 80 or 90%. It picks up 80 or 90%. But what the pharmacy companies do and what the doctors do is, so let's say the price is $500 and Medicare, which is the government, pays for 80 or 90%. So they don't keep it at $500. They jack the price up 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 times higher. So they know they're going to get a lot of free money from the government. And so they get paid very nicely by the government. One second, let me get this from dollars. An ambulance is what, like $3,000 or $5,000, Jared?
Something like that. It's pretty expensive. I'd say that.
So what happens is an ambulance cost would be like 3,000 USD to UA, like this. It would be like this. That would be the cost. And so, Medicare, the pension thing, will pay for 80 or 90%. So they will drop it to something like $500. And that, so then the old person will pay for this. If you get a surgery or something else, the surgery can be something like give me a surgery that's somewhat common, but I can't think of it, that between like I can't think of a surgery like like a diabetic thing or not a diabetic thing. Give me an idea, Jared. I can't think of something.
Like a surgery?
Yeah. Like a surgery that's like you, or no, wait. When you have kids, oh, there's another one. When you have kids, that's what, like $20,000 or $30,000, something like that.
And to be quite honest, I haven't got any taxes like for kids in a while. So.
Oh but basically, the hospitals know they're gonna get a lot of money.
Yeah.
In that. So they jack the price up so high that it will take you like 2 to 5 years to pay it off. In that. And like, I mean, I think, how to put it, I think like one of my grandma's bills was like 50,000. And so like she had to pay off like 5,000 of it. And that she had to pay off 5,000 of it over like 2 years. Let me do it this way. And that, just to give you an idea of things USD to UF, and that like this can be a surgery in the US. It really can be expensive. Well, yeah, but now if you're a pensioner, it will be 90%. The government will pay. But the 10% can be still large. For someone that's retired, it can still be a large amount. And it's just the system and that. Let me think, like, cataract. No, cataracts. I was gonna say cataracts is cheap. I'm just trying to think what is cataracts. Actually, no. It's, let me see, for eye surgery for your eye. Like, because you wear glasses, in the US, they can eliminate the need for you to have glasses. They can do it. They use a laser that
Fix
yeah.
your eye,
Yeah.
but it's costs
1 second. I'll find
worse.
Well, but it's 1 second. I'll find the price. Yeah, $5,000. Right? Yeah. Well, you usually you get cataract surgery for, okay, so like this. So depending on type of cataract surgery, expense, out of expense, the standard, blah blah blah, from 3,000 to 5,000. So it would be, second. Here. So it would be at lowest, this, at lowest. At highest, it would be maybe this. At highest, in Greenland.
2,000, 200,000 grivna.
Yeah, but basically, they use a laser and they do a certain type of thing to fix your eye. And that, and but what happens is they do it for different reasons, but some reasons can be to no longer wear glasses. And that usually it's for people that are going blind. cataract surgery. Like, but it's one of them things, but the prices, like, but it exists. Let me choose the short video. As we're learning about medical crap
Usually
today.
with cataract surgery, a small incision is made in the eye.
Yeah, and they use a laser or
The
something.
front portion of the thin outer covering of the lens is opened to allow removal of the cataract inside. The cataract is gently broken up and vacuumed out. Then a folded
Vacuumed
lens
out.
implant is inserted through the small incision and into the capsule where it unfolds and permanently takes the place of the clouded natural lens. With the cataract removed, the new lens implant clearly focuses light rays onto the retina. The power of the lens implant is selected for your individual eye.
I thought they did it with lasers. What am I thinking was with lasers? Because they showed like a little device going in.
That's painful.
What am I thinking what they do with your eyes with lasers?
But whatever that was, that sounded painful.
Oh, they showed it like a little tube thing that goes right into your eye. But anyways, it's just like that. The US, expensive country. Oh, you know, oh, wait. Well, that's the first part of it. Oh, I'll give you another example. He asks me a little bit because I think he's a little nervous, a little afraid.
Yeah.
When I go to ATB, which is like Kroger's or like Myers grocery store, and that, or when we go to a restaurant, he's always worried that the bill is very high. And to give an example, me and him you ordered tea, we ordered hachapuri, a Pepsi, and I ordered a chocolate milkshake. And that, all of that, yeah, all of that was like $11 in that.
Last
So,
time you paid $10.
yeah, but I didn't order a milkshake the other time. But
Say whatever you paid
yeah,
your bill.
yeah, but the thing is, for two people, it was like $11. So in reality, it's like $5.50 or like $6.20 or something like that in price. And then whatchamacallit, what would be a price for two people at a restaurant in Oregon?
Okay. I'll give you. We just ordered pizza not too long ago, and
Okay.
so to order pizza and have it delivered to feed just my family of 7 is $70 to $80, almost $100, depends on where.
Okay, I'll
So there's a
show.
rough. There you go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So here,
Yeah.
well, look, I'll use the pizza because it gets pretty expensive. So I have a family of 7. All right. So me and my wife, we have five kids. And the other day we ordered pizza, and I swear I think it was $70, $80, maybe closer to 100 once you add the tip, delivery fee. That's another thing in. They throw these really high delivery fees in, and still on top expect you to tip the driver on top of the delivery fee. It's outrageous. That's America. That is the American dream. Now, that ain't the American dream. No, it's not. I'll tell you right now that the American dream is dead. It died a long time ago. We're living in a utopia where everybody thinks it's all. I swear, people think everything is okay. They're okay paying. For two people, they're okay paying $50 for two people. That's what it is in some places. I saw what is it? A guy and a woman on a date, and they were somewhere, and when they rang up and whatever food those two ordered, and I saw the look on the guy's face, and I was like, I don't think the guy's gonna get married, because when they like rung up and saw how much it cost, that guy's face was like, he was just like, what, really, for two people? Man, I think it was close to $50, whatever they between the two of them. So there you go.
Oh, and another example too. And here's another example. I just did this. Well, he will think I'm taking a risk, but I know I'm okay. So I helped a girl from Ivano-Frankivsk get an apartment. I helped her put down a deposit for an apartment. And she lives in Ivano-Frankivsk, which is like 1 hour away by car. The deposit was $216 and that, at like 9,000 grivna and that. That's like a normal amount sometimes, usually if you rent an apartment. It depending on area, depending on location. In Lviv, it would be closer to 15,000, or like basically it'd be closer to $300 for deposit. And to understand, the rent is like $216 or 9,000 grivna. And what happens when was the last time you rented in Oregon or Texas? To give you an idea, that the amount is like 5 or 10 times higher.
Mhm.
In that, what was the amount that you rented for?
I think the highest rent I had living in Texas before buying was $1,000 a month.
Yeah. So it'd be like 40,000. It would be like 40,000. There you go. So there would be his minimum rent payment. At minimum. Per
My
month.
mortgage is currently $1,700.
Yeah.
So that's even a greater amount. Yeah, I would.
Yeah. And Dimitry, this is his mortgage. He borrowed money from the bank. Okay. He put an X amount down, like 10%.
Yeah, something like that.
He puts 10% down. He
Ten
gives
percent from what?
if you want to buy a house in America, if the house is like $100,000, and that if it's one number, you have to give the bank 10%. So the 90% you pay back over 30 years. And so like what happens is so let's say the house is $1 million. Whoops, let me do this better. If it's like this, of 10%, if it does it right. So it would be like 100,000. So you would get 1, 2, 3, or I did it wrong, but it would be $100,000 is 10%. So you give them upfront 10%, and then you pay back the money. They give you the money to buy the house, but then you have to pay it back with interest. What's the interest rate? Like 10%?
Mine is was it 2.25% is my interest rate.
Okay.
I have a low one.
Yeah, well,
I bought during Trump's first presidency. I bought my house then.
Well, that is the military thing. Okay, in the US, if you're in the military, you get certain discounts in that because there's all these little government programs, and then there's businesses that like to reward you for your military service. Like in his case, he can go into a coffee shop or a bar and say, well, can I get a free cup of coffee or a free donut? You can do that. And he'll get the free donut.
Well, we show her like our IDs.
Yeah. Well,
For
but
me,
you'll say that you're a
I'm
veteran.
retired military, so yeah, I get like a retired ID card, like a blue ID card. And so that's what I show.
And basically he'll show that, and he'll get a free donut, maybe a free meal, something like that.
Where?
Any restaurant. They will do it. I mean, I can't imagine a restaurant not doing it, but most of them
Even here in Oregon, as liberal as it is, most places, you don't have trouble.
They'll be like, yeah, you murdered people, but we'll let you eat for free. And that, but either or.
I can tell you guys a funny story when I first moved to Oregon, though.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, when we first moved to Oregon,
You're listening to
Heather,
all ears.
Sure. Go ahead.
my wife wanted me to try this thing called Voodoo Donuts. It's like a weird place here in Eugene. It's also in Portland. So I remember going in there, and then I realized I had to walk down like the hallway to the ATM at this time. It's not like that now. It's changed. But so I get in there and I realized I had to go to the ATM because they were only accepting cash. And so I'm walking down the hallway to the ATM so I can draw out the money. And I remember this lady following me because I was wearing a hat that said Iraq War Veteran on it. And as I'm walking down the hallway, she's like, we did such bad stuff in Iraq. And she was using the word we a lot, And so, and I'm listening to her. And then as I'm getting the money out, she kept saying, all the children we killed in Iraq, she kept saying we. And I finally turned around and I said, you used the word we. And I said, you were there? I said, you were in the military, you served? That's what I told her. Because I said, I want to thank you for your service. And that blew her mind, right? I said, if you served, I want to thank you for your service. And I said, I'm sorry we saw and we did such awful stuff. I'm so sorry. And then when she's like, I didn't serve. And I was like, why are you using we? Like, you're using we as in like you were over there. And it boggled my mind. It's just how people treat us. Some people treat us.
Yeah. Well, but what I think she's thinking about is the Madeleine Albright thing when Bill Clinton was president. And that, they actually did starve some children, 500,000.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And that's what I think she means. And that, but it's like that. Politicians are all stupid. They're stupid.
It's just funny. It was just funny when I turned around and said we. So I said you served. I think that was the best moment. It was like, oh, so you served too.
Yeah, well, no,
you around.
You fought her up. And that. I don't know. It's just like that. And what else can I say? Just one of them. And that. And just trying to think. What other little question can you think of for Dimitry here? In that, if you can think of one. In that.
What does he think about the war, like overall in general? Like, I want like his feeling of the war from your perspective as a Ukrainian, your perspective of the war. What are your thoughts? Because I'd love to hear from your perspective on what you think about the war.
Cause of war? I don't know. It's not necessary to.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Russia attacked Ukraine.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah. Just one of them things. And when it started, I can say this too. I understand what he means.
Right.
When it started, I would say a majority of Ukrainians didn't think it would happen at all. At least 80 or 90%. 80 or 90%.
Right.
And then when it happened, it was like, oh, okay. And I stayed on the consensus of looking around at everyone else and how everyone else acted. So I figured it was a better barometer of temperature of what was going on, of seeing how everyone else reacted compared to what the news was saying sometimes. Or the best way to put it, what I was getting messaged to death with was Russia's gonna invade, blah, blah, blah. And there's a few guys that are like in their 50s or 55. I met in Ukraine and they were in the Marines and everything. And they said, like, Ricky, you should be ready to get out and bug out.
From Ukraine?
Oh, yeah. like a few weeks before, and they said, you know, if
Because Russia attacked East Ukraine.
well, no, but it was their thing was this. They knew me. They knew how I acted. They knew that I was in the West. They knew I was in Lviv or Ivano-Frankivsk. They knew this, but because they actually did, I think Rob did 4 or 8 years of service. There was like 2 or 3 of them, and that they basically are saying like, you know, it can get really ugly really quick, and everyone's gonna be in a panic, and you got to figure out to be ahead of the panic.
Mhm.
That was their thing that they were telling me, and they said, you know, if you're there and you're still there when it's all the panic, and that you said, you know, it's going to be really hard for you to get out.
Yeah.
And then of course nothing happened as bad as it did, but I mean it did in some areas like Sumy and Kharkiv. It happened pretty harsh. West Ukraine was pretty much spared in that, but like all the lines going from the east, from
Right.
the real east, and then from the north, because you know, like Russia only needs to go through Belarus and go straight south through the Dnipro River, and then they can be at Kiev if they wanted to go through the river. And
Right.
that's why in the beginning of the war, I remember this. At the beginning of the war, they actually captured Chernobyl for some
Yes, I
time,
remember. Yeah.
and that they captured it for some time because they said like maybe there's a dirty bomb there or something.
Yeah, I've heard that. I heard a lot of rumblings, you know.
Yeah.
There's even nuclear material missing, apparently in the US. That's why all the drones were out. So everybody's freaking out about. Who knows? There's so much being put out. It's hard to know what's going on.
You don't know about this. Okay. Okay, I don't think it's in the Ukrainian news. You know, there's a whole thing in the US. I don't know if it's staying in the US or it gets out of the US. I don't know. I do know one Ukrainian friend saw it, but you know, in the past week or two, there was this whole thing that basically no one knows what it is. People say it was drones. People say it was China. Some people say it was Iran. They make it, and some people think it's aliens from
Yeah.
another planet. Like there was like over New York and New Jersey. It was New York and New Jersey, right?
Right.
There was a bunch of like just mysterious lights.
From
And-
here.
From space. Almost like it looked like satellite stuff.
But this is the thing. This is what makes it, for him being in the military, it will piss him off. I'm sure it does. But the US government was going, well, we don't know what it is. We have no clue. We don't know.
I heard about it.
Okay, yeah. And the biggest thing about it is you're talking about the most powerful government in the world says, you know, there's a bunch of stuff over our airspace, but we don't know what it is. It sounds so stupid in a way. And that because they say that they're the best at everything, but magically they let something into the airspace and go, oh, well, we don't know. I don't know. And it was just one of these things. And it's still going on. They're saying like, well, we don't know what happened. You know, it's hard for us to say. Maybe it was some drones. I don't know. We don't know. It drives Americans a little crazy that their government says they don't know, but really Americans know they know.
Yeah.
They don't want to say for some stupid reason. In that, and I think like when they tested the SR-71 and the Nighthawk and all the stealth stuff. I think it has to do something like that.
Yeah.
And they just here, let me share this over to you because I shared this. Come on. I shared this to a Ukrainian friend to give you an idea, and that I recorded this to it's in Telegram. Just share it over and just play it over, and it basically is like Joe Biden's spokesperson going, I don't know, I don't know, I don't.
Was this John Kirby?
Yeah.
Oh my God, John
And
Kirby.
then, go ahead, play it.
And assistant to the security communications advisor and assistant to the president. John, good to have you with us. You know, what do you make of the reaction? A lot of people were unhappy with that comment that you made yesterday and felt like you were, you know, telling people that they were nuts or that they didn't know what they were seeing with their own eyes.
No, not at all, Martha. That's the farthest thing that I would ever do. I was simply reiterating what the FBI and what the Department of Homeland Security have relayed to us about what they've been able to corroborate. And we haven't been able to corroborate everything. I said many of the corroborated sightings have turned out to be piloted aircraft. I didn't say all of them, and what I said was those are the ones we were able to corroborate. There's certainly ones that we have not been able to, and we don't know the answer to it. And I strongly recommend that for folks that are seeing these things and documenting them to share that as they can with the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI.
All right, well, let's do that. Let's share it with you right now. Let's put up this photo.
You know what's very interesting about what he says? And I know what he means, and I'm sure you do too. He goes, we encourage you to share any videos and this and that, so we know if we did our job correctly. You know, did we instill fear?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, yeah.
And that, like, that's why they say, we want you to share every informational bit that we did. Did we fly it in the right direction? Did we do our job correctly? Did we do this correctly? Please let us know if we did our job correctly, because we don't know if we did our job correctly. That's how nuts it sounds to me. And then he says that, you know, I would never think the American people are stupid or crazy. Go ahead, play it more.
Yeah.
This is the close-up one. Here we go. This is in Bernardsville, New Jersey. So, John, are you able to see this photo?
No, ma'am.
You don't have a monitor there?
No, actually, I turned the monitor off. It distracts me, so I didn't see it.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Well, you'll have to take a look at it after, but I can describe it to you. It is large. It has a white bar that goes through the middle. The right-hand side is half lit up white on the top and red on the bottom. The other side is green. So what would that, you know, you're a former military person yourself. You're an admiral. You're the White House National Security Communications advisor. I'm sure you have seen some of these images. So what is that we're looking at?
It's difficult for me to tell you, Martha. We don't really know. It is possible that some of these things could be commercial drones, you know, developed for commercial purposes. It's possible that they could be owned by private citizens.
But why don't we know, John? That's the point. Why doesn't the United States government know? It seems silly. I mean, it feels a lot like the Chinese spy balloon. It was like, oh, we don't know. It's not a problem. Then we watched it go all the way across the country, and we kept hearing, you know, we're not really sure where it came from until we saw it popped and, you know, floated down over the ocean.
That's not quite how it went. We were very honest with the American people that we knew it was Chinese, and we knew that where it was going to go, and we were pretty comfortable given the analysis that there wasn't going to be an intelligence threat by it. And we shot it down once it was over safe waters and wasn't going to hurt anybody. But back to this: why don't we know? I wish I could tell you exactly why we don't have an answer for you here in the afternoon on the 13th of December, but I can tell you that we are working on it very, very hard to know, because we want to answer.
Did you ever see the videos of people shooting at some of them?
Some of it, yeah. Some of it, yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that's idiotic too, because you don't know where your rounds are going. So
Yeah.
I know you're shooting at a light that's coming from like satellite space. Who knows? I don't know. It's
Those
interesting.
questions the same as those folks in New Jersey want answers to them, and we are working on this very, very hard. We are now applying. There was an interagency conversation this morning about this topic, where we have now decided to employ some additional technology to New Jersey and some additional personnel to try to get a better sense of what these things are. And as I said yesterday, Martha, as soon as we know, we're going to.
No, I hear you. This is shocking. I got to tell you, this is shocking. Okay, and I'm not the only person who feels this way. This was happening at Langley a month ago. Okay, these people are not crazy. They're seeing these things with their own eyes. This is not normal
I don't watch
behavior.
mainstream media
They're not
news that much.
planes that are coming in one direction and they're heading into Newark Airport and then they're landing. Okay.
I don't really watch mainstream media news that much anymore, but this is pretty exciting.
Yeah. Oh, they keep on.
We spend $824 billion on defense. We have the greatest intelligent capability in the world. So how can you stand there and say to the country right now, gosh darn, we just don't know what these are?
Because I'm not going to lie to you or to the American people, and I'm not going to say we know something when we don't. And we would never, ever stoop to think that an American citizen was crazy or nuts because of what they're seeing and what they're documenting.
You know what's really funny? He says we would never ever lie to the American people, which is like, we will always lie. You will never know the truth. I mean, like everything they say is really, you know what is the truth when they say the opposite. That's the most ironic thing. They say, no, we're not going to arrest religious people. Then they arrest the religious people. It's just like, but go ahead. I think it's over in like a minute.
Taking that imagery seriously, and we're doing the best we can to analyze it, and we encourage people to come forward if they have additional sightings and imagery. We want to do the best we can to triangulate it, but I'll be gosh darn if I'm going to stand up here and make up stuff that I don't know to be true.
We don't want you to make up anything. Do you know and you can't say? Can you tell me that?
No, I'm telling you, Martha, I'm telling you, we don't.
You don't know.
We can't corroborate every single sighting. Some of them we have, not all of them, and we're working hard to do that. We know people are afraid of it. We know people have concerns. We have those same concerns.
Yeah, because they're flying over your house, and it sounds like there are motorcycles landing on your roof. So let me ask you this: one, person who watched this online said they think it's a Pterodynamics Transwing Drone XP4, which is being developed by the U.S. Navy as a recon and logistics drone capable of picking up and dropping off packages between land and moving ships in high seas and winds. They're suggesting it's an American company. We asked the company. They said we can't speculate on the origin of the drones that are flying over New Jersey. So is that an avenue that has been inspected? Is this a private company that is practicing something? And wouldn't they have to clear something with somebody to have this kind of activity?
It could very well be, as I said, these could be commercially developed drones of some kind.
Why not just take one down and figure out what's going on?
Well, the idea of taking something down, again, you want to worry about public safety. First of all, we don't have enough conclusions to take that kind of a policy action. But let's just assume for a minute, Martha, that we did. I mean, you're not going to want to shoot something down where it could hit somebody's house or hurt somebody.
Well, the Coast Guard says that there are 30 of them following one of their ships in the ocean. So would that work?
I mean, again, we have to develop the policy options based on what we know we're dealing with here, and we just don't know enough to make those to take those kinds of actions. But my goodness, we're going to do everything we can to find out, and we're going to share as much as we can. I understand it's frustrating for folks.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for us. We want to know as well.
What does President Biden say about it?
He also has tasked the team to look into this and to be energetic in doing it, to try to get answers. He saw some of these images yesterday. He has talked to his team, including his top leaders, including at the Defense Department. And
have you called in like AI experts or said, like, why don't we ask Elon Musk what he thinks, or brought in outside experts?
We're working really hard right now inside our interagency, and certainly supporting the FBI and DHS as they investigate this. And if we need to have additional conversations with people outside the lifelines, we certainly will do that. But I want to make sure I don't get ahead of the investigators and what they're doing.
It just seems weird. I mean, people, they're low. They fly fairly low, some of these. It just, I think, is amazing that the White House has no idea what's going on. I think that makes people feel really unsettled. In New Jersey, they sent out an intelligence bulletin, I should say, issued in December of 2024 with recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. And it says a downed or landed drone should not be approached. It says request hazardous materials response unit or local hazmat team. And then it says request the nearest bomb squad. Do you agree with those recommendations? If one of these things comes into someone's house or lands in their yard, or they have to deal with it?
Yeah, look, I haven't seen that directive, but all that makes perfect sense to me as a former military person. If something like an aircraft of any kind lands in your backyard or close to you or your family, call the authorities. Don't approach it. You don't know what it is, and you don't know what kind of fuel might be on board. You absolutely should just call the authorities. Make sure you report it. Don't go near it. Don't touch it. You don't want to get hurt.
Okay. One last question for you, and it's in another area. It's in the Middle East, where obviously, John, there is a lot going on.
Yeah. But still, to give you the idea, this is why Kamala and Biden lost. They gave answers like this for everything. I mean, there's probably like 500 different things in that. You know, they said that they could send the money and weapons instantly to Ukraine. Then there was a hurricane. There was a train crash in Pennsylvania. What was the town? Palestine? Or what?
Yeah, it was Palestine, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. They had like a train crash. They had hurricanes in North Carolina. And where else? I forgot where else. Florida.
Oh, within Hawaii.
Maui.
Yeah, Lahaina. The whole city burned down.
Yeah, they had all this like natural destruction from weather, and they go, well, we don't know what to do. You want $500, like 20,000 grievance? Like they gave some like ridiculous small amount of money. Like people's entire homes and buildings were burnt down, and they're going, oh, we'll just give you $500. But then at the same time, they go, you know, we're sending $100 billion to Ukraine. It's not that Americans are anti-Ukraine, but what it is they go, how is it that our government does things for people that are not Americans, but for Americans, it can do nothing?
It's frustrating. It does.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It gets frustrating. Yeah. I gotta get going pretty soon. It's already 7:30 for me, but nah, man, that was interesting. That's typical John Kirby, man, to beat around the bush and not just say what's really going on. They act like they don't know, but truth is, I think we know. I think it's our stuff. I think it's something we could be testing. But who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think it's foreign.
Actually, you know what you should look at? I don't know if you remember or not. When Obama had the one speaker, what was his name? He was the guy, Jay Carney? Was it Jay Carney, or which one was it? Obama had a press speaker, his Obama press.
Because he had Carney, I think I do remember the name. I do recall that name.
Josh Earnest, Robert Gibbs, and I think Jay Carney was one.
Yes.
But you know, one of them couldn't speak. They kept fumbling, like what they would say. And that was the most telling. That one was the most telling. But it's just one of them things. But basically, like the whole UFO thing or drone thing, whatever it is in reality, it's things like that, which is why no one voted for Kamala, or at least why Kamala lost. And then her whole speech about we will run a joyful campaign, all about joy and happiness. Like it's a Christmas carol. I mean, besides her name, but like chameleon. Oh,
Which sound in Americans, Christmas song.
No. It's a Boy George song. But well, hey, you know what? Play the one little short video with the handset. In Telegram, I sent it right above the video. This one, we'll laugh at this. We'll cut it off in 5 minutes or so, I think. But in Telegram, I sent you the video with the handset receiver. This was some idea in the 90s. Gotta find the Telegram. Well, it's right down there. I see it.
Oh no.
Oh, you read the holy book?
No, he's religious, probably a little bit more religious than me, but right above.
This one right here.
This guy.
Well, he is. He teaches some class.
He is talking on the phone, getting out of hand. Look out! You need phone relief. The ultimate in hands-free phone design. Watch. Simply attach the special double back fastener to any phone. Then attach the phone relief headset. It's that easy. Hands-free, pain-free. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it. It's perfect for remotes. Now talk hands-free anywhere, anytime. Office work is a pain for Mr. Phone in the Neck, but you won't miss a beat with hands-free freedom. A must for the entire office. Work goes quicker and easier. The padded headset removes this easily and is fully adjustable. Best of all, phone relief works with your favorite phone. An amazing breakthrough product you'll use every day. Now only $12.95. Call toll-free to order by credit card and make this your last Phone in the Neck call.
Call now 1-800-862-1000. Our operators are giving tremendous discounts on additional units. That's 1-800-862-1000. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Sorry, no CODs. Credit card users call now 1-800-862-1000.
Yeah, but still, cell phones, mobile phones, they'll never catch on. You can just attach your phone to a little thing around your head. You'll just walk around like this. I'm on the phone. You see, I can talk hands-free.
Like, grandma.
No, it was a thing. Like it was a thing back in the 90s. It was a way some company thought of an idea to make some money, like some quick money way to make money from some people that would buy it. Maybe they made like $10,000 or $20,000, but they made money off of it. And then they put it as a commercial, just like that. I thought that was funny because of today. Like everyone goes hands-free, gotta talk hands-free and everything. But yeah, it's like that. It's like that always. But he was saying he knows the religious stuff, and I told him that you basically do a few like little like online classes or just talking stuff.
Here's one that I do. I heard him mention it. Yeah, every morning I just read and kind of upload a video for anybody who wants to learn more about the Bible. I study theology, so I love studying theology. It's one of my passions is reading the Bible.
Yeah.
But I gotta get going. I gotta get going here pretty soon.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, probably here in the next like 2 minutes. We gotta get going for the day. So I gotta get some Christmas shopping to finish up today. So
yeah,
I enjoyed meeting you, and so learning from your perspective. Hopefully, I can learn more from you and maybe talk to you more in the future. Come back on and give me more perspective on Ukraine.
If he's at my apartment. Maybe.
Yeah. But maybe we can try and get. How about you, Ree? A while back, I had spoken to you, Ree.
Yeah. He's been busy. He's really slow to reply lately. I don't know the reason, but I would imagine it has to do somewhat with family or work. But I'll message him and he might take a week or two to reply. He's been taking a week or two. But like he usually replies within 1 or 2 days, but he's taking longer. And so I know he's busy with something like that in general. But well, either or. Then that in our cooking show today, remember to have mace around you all the time because you might have to spray it to ward off some pests. Yeah, that's my great announcership and that. But just like that. Anyways, the smell of my Axe spray. And that, but anyways, either or. I'll talk to you later in that since you gotta get going.
Yep.
What's this button?
It's just a hard drive docking thing. It's actually a light, I think. And I was looking at my docking thing for a hard drive. And that. So I'll let you go for the moment.
Yep. All right, and thanks again, guys. Good chat.
Yeah.
So y'all have a good day. All right.
Yep.
It was nice meeting you, and it really was.
Is this end?
Well,
This
yeah.
end?
He'll cut it off in that.
All right, guys. Bye. Bye.
Talk to you later.
Good
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Bye.